Hi everybody, welcome to Connecticut Style. We are wrapping up this week with a Dance Party Friday, so be prepared to get up off that sofa. Steven from Fred Astaire is back. He's going to be teaching us how to rumba. Also today, what does it take to become an award-winning author and illustrator? It takes talent. And I'm here with Gene Barretta. Welcome, Gene. You are the author of many great books. We're going to be talking about those books coming up. We're so happy to have you here.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
You've been drawing since a young boy, very young.
About this size.
That's
I used to have to carry the crayons around like this.
How old were you when you started?
Well, my mother tells me when I was about 3, I drew a big elephant on the wall with purple crayon next to the crib, so at least that young.
And even though many of today's illustrations are computer generated, the raw talent has to come first. That's your belief.
Yeah, the talent and passion and the perseverance. Just stick with it. Yeah.
You're going to show me one of your characters today, and you say I can learn this pretty easily. It takes a Sharpie and a pad like this.
That's all it takes.
Okay.
It's very simple shapes. We're going to do Leonardo da Vinci from my new book. We're going to start with, he has a very round head, so all we really need to do is start with just a quick half circle.
A half circle,
like that.
Okay. You're quicker than me, okay.
And about halfway down, let's make his nose. We'll start with a little bit of a ledge and then drop down and a little bump on the end with a nostril.
Okay, I think I can do this. A ledge, a drop down.
Right.
A little bit of bump with a nostril.
Right, okay. Let's give him a mustache. We'll give him I always kind of swoop it up just to give him an expression of a smile. And it's a little crooked because I'm drawing sort of on an angle, but yeah, you've got it.
Wow, you make this easy.
You make it look easy. Look at it. Let's start and go with an eyebrow here, arching up, just very couple jagged things on the end, and the same on this side.
Okay. Oh, I like how my guy is coming along.
He's coming along. And now let's drop this down and give him a little bit of a rounded cheek.
Okay.
Okay. 2 dot eyes. I'm going to have him kind of looking over at me, so there you go. And now this is the fun part where it's just his hair, and you can do whatever you want with the hair and the beard to swoop it down.
Whoa, he has long flowy hair,
flowy hair. He uses, I can't mention the name of the shampoo, but...
Oh, I think my guy needs a hot oil treatment. I don't know what I did to him here. But you know what? I'm going to keep practicing on this, and we're going to talk more about Gene's books and so much more coming up in a little bit. But first, let's check in. The Ageless Ideas of Leonardo da Vinci. Gene Barretta has certainly captured the imagination of kids all across the country, and we're very lucky to have him with us here on Connecticut Style today. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you
we really
very much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We were talking at the beginning of the show how you have been interested in illustrating as long as you can remember, really.
That's why I have such ghosty white skin, because I never go outside. See, when all the kids were outside on the beach playing.
You'd be inside drawing. Always been a passion for you.
Yeah.
So it was never really a question in terms of what you wanted to do as a career.
There was a period where I actually went to film school, and I worked in that industry for a while, and then made a full circle back around to this, and took all of those lessons from the film world into what I do as an illustrator and a writer.
You've illustrated close to 30 books, but the way that you do your work has certainly changed over the years. It's not just you and the paper and a pen or a Sharpie or pencil anymore.
Right. Well, I've started to do a lot of my sketches on, I won't mention the product name, but it's an electronic tablet.
Like a monitor.
Right, and it looks just like a monitor, only it's the type that, it's a newer one. There used to be an older version where you would have to draw on an electronic tablet and look up at the monitor, but this you draw right on it just like you would a pad. I do all my sketches that way, and it has the same sensitivity and results as a pad of paper, and then I just print everything onto the watercolor paper, and then I work traditionally with the watercolor.
Was it hard to make that transition, or...?
No, not immediately. I had played with some of the earlier versions, and so it was, fortunately, it was a nice transition.
You've worked with a number of authors, but the books that you've worked on, that you've written yourself, have really taken off, so that's got to be a great feeling.
It is. Now and Ben, The Modern Inventions of Benjamin Franklin was my first as an author, and purely by coincidence, it came out on his 300th anniversary. So it got the attention we wanted, and it just has been a great success for me, and really made people, take a look at my work from that point on.
So Now and Ben was your first in the Inventor series, and your fourth book, it's a little confusing, but it's your fourth book, which is Neo Leo, which is the most recent one that you've come out with, is the second in the Inventor series. So give folks at home a little background of what the series is about.
Well, they've both follow a similar theme. Benjamin Franklin and Leonardo da Vinci both invented things that are still part of our world and shaped our world, like we know today. Benjamin Franklin was able to build a lot of his inventions during his lifetime, and we still see them very close to the way he designed them, plus sort of a more contemporary cousin of theirs. Leonardo da Vinci, on the other hand, built very little during his lifetime. So many things just stayed in his notes until after he was gone, and people like the Wright brothers were designing and planes and having the first flight 400 years after the fact, but we can see now through his notes that he was thinking about it long before that. And that's pretty much evidenced in a lot of our modern inventions. He was way ahead of his time in how he designed and how he dreamed about the future.
So what inspired you to focus on this for children's books?
Well, Franklin and Leonardo both happened to be childhood idols. So when I started to think about what I wanted to write for my first books as a writer, those were sort of a natural place to focus and pay tribute to them finally.
And your next book as a writer, will there be more in the Inventor series, or what are you thinking about?
There will be. I've done some grammar books in between, and now my next one will also deal with inventing, which won't deal with a specific inventor, but more of a series of inventions that follow a theme, and then I will go back to an individual one. There's a lot to harvest in that world of inventors who really have made an impact on.
Yeah, it's a wide spectrum. And aside from the books, you have worked on some highly successful children's programs. Tell us about that.
Sesame Street. Have you heard of it?
Never. I've never heard of that before. Tell us about it.
Small little public television show. And I did 5 animated shorts for that show a couple years back. And I worked with a show called Between the Lions and done some books for them and some behind-the-scenes illustration work. And I've done some character design for the Jim Henson Company after I'd worked on Sesame Street. So everything I do really remains focused in the children's industry, but and lots of different...
Maybe some younger folks watching who have this similar passion and they're just fine-tuning their skills now. What advice do you have from them? Because you've really made it happen for yourself in your career.
Well, yes, and it took a while. They have to realize that it's not, especially anything in the arts, you know, it's an uphill battle. There's so many other people who want to do what you want to do. And so much comes down to timing and having a style that might be appropriate for a certain project that a publisher is doing at the moment. So I think just as important as the talent is the perseverance and the building up a little bit of a tough skin and being able to take criticism along the way and collaborate. And
it's true. It's important. And you're a really good teacher. Can we take a look at the finished product here? Can you see that? Wait, which one are you shooting? Okay, that's Gene's, and that is mine, and that is the character from Neo Leo. That is Leonardo da Vinci, although yours looks far more regal. Mine kind of looks like a lumberjack, I have to say.
Mine has a little bit of a slant to it. But yours, they look like brothers, don't they?
They do look like brothers. Yours is the more handsome brother, but that's okay. Your website is genebarretta.com.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming in. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Continued success in your career.